So, where'd you start with that one? Wolves 0, Brighton 3 at home. Another defeat again, 7 in 10. And the poor run of form continues. And this is probably the most angry I've been at a result in a long time, really. And not just because of the scoreline, but because of the way that we lost the game. For me, just shows that these players have got no commitment, no desire, no passion, no attacking intelligence or ideas. We look devoid of energy. The players just don't look like they even want to be there. Bruno doesn't look like he wants to be there. And it's all culminating in what is a very, very sour end to the season. The same thing that we had pretty much the entirety of the second half of last season, where again the players looked like they didn't care. Similar period in the season where they just didn't look bothered and performances were awful. And I think it just kind of shows that there needs to be a rebuild. There has to be some sort of rebuild in the summer because performances like that aren't good enough. We'll start with the formation. I disagreed with it again. I thought Bruno, whilst, he's inheriting a group of players that he doesn't want, clearly. But I think some of his game management and his choices have also been suspects. And Hwang and Fabio up front was never going to work. I said before the game it wasn't going to work because we know it doesn't work. We've just seen it before this season and it hasn't done anything. And again, we're not learning from previous mistakes. And it went to show there was no attacking patterns whatsoever. We looked decent going in the wide areas, but again, too slow to cross the ball in. I thought Aït-Nouri and Semedo today were very average. Made good runs, but again, too slow getting the ball in the box. And I thought Fabio was decent, showed good movement. Hwang was actually all right in the first half. I thought showed good drives of pace, good bits of passing. But overall, again, the defence letting us down. The defence is just, I don't know what's happened. I mean, we were one of the best defences in the league. And since January, they've just fallen like a stone ability-wise. Such poor decision-making, sloppy in possession. They look clumsy. They almost look hungover pretty much every game. 2 penalties given away. Again, how many times have we given away penalties this season? I think that's 9 penalties given away now. It's getting absolutely ridiculous, the amount that we're giving away. First one, clear handball. Saiss leaning into the cross. Again, such an unbelievably low IQ decision to make. I don't understand how Premier League footballers are making these mistakes, and I guess it kind of goes back to the fact that we haven't invested in centre-backs since we got promoted. But yeah, clear penalty, hits the post, we get lucky, big let-off, you're thinking then, let's get a reaction. No reaction whatsoever, concede another penalty. I thought that one was a bit harsh on Bolly, to be honest. But again, tripping someone up when he's falling over, you can't really argue. It could be his fault, and some argue that it might not be his fault. But again, Sarr guesses right, scores, good penalty from McAllister. But then second half, you're looking for a reaction, really. We go into half-time, boos at half-time. You're looking for a reaction, no reaction again whatsoever. Go 2-0 down again, appalling defending. And the third one as well is a good effort from range. But again, there's just no semblance of any connection between the team and the fans. Bruno Lage, I think he had similar struggles at Benfica. When things started going wrong, they went on their worst run in the club's history, and he was sacked. And I can see similar trends here. The players just don't seem to care. It's such an unlikable squad, and I say that in the sense that on the pitch. Off the pitch, I think they're brilliant. They do good community work, and they've obviously got a very good bond, and the personalities off the pitch are there. But on the pitch, they're so unlikable because there's no passion there. They don't look like they care. They look like they're there to collect a wage one week and just go from week to week and not bothered. There's no competition. The small squad is obviously letting us down because they feel comfortable enough to put in performances like that and think it's okay. There's only a few players that can hold their heads up high from this season, and Jose Sarr and Ruben Neves are probably a couple of them. Max Kilman as well, but it's just so unlikable. And every week they put all this talk about we're going to fight. We're still fighting. Bruno Lage still talking about Europe. Why? We know that Europe's long gone. The players obviously don't want it. And it's a real shame. It's a real shame, and I think Fosun now have to look at themselves. They cannot increase ticket prices again this summer like they did last summer. But who knows? I mean, considering they increased it off the back of the worst season of football we've seen in the Prem, it wouldn't surprise me if they did it again. But has to be investment. New midfield. We need a new midfield. We need better forward options. We need some fresh blood in defence. My God, we've been calling it out. We've been calling that for years now. Yeah, things have got to change. There's so many players there that don't deserve to be in the shirt anymore. I'm not going to name names. I think we all know who that. I don't really want to get into the routine of bashing players every week, but again, it just becomes so frustrating to watch this team just absolutely throw away what could have been a really, really good season. We've got a really tough run of fixtures now. Probably sod's law that we get some results there, but just depressing, disappointing. After some of the football that we've seen in the Champions League midweek, Man City, Real Madrid, unbelievable game. You go back to watching this at the weekend, it just makes you question why you even put yourself through it. So, yeah, hugely disappointing. Have to turn it around. I don't know how we're going to turn it around. But yeah, big investment needed in the summer. Clearly, if we're to avoid pretty much a relegation battle with the momentum we're on. I know it sounds a bit, end of the world or a bit over the top, but genuinely, you look at the momentum going into the end of this season. If that carries on to next season with a similar group of players that have already shown they have no fight, then, good luck to us trying to scrap a top half finish. And if we get into a relegation battle, I can't trust these players to be able to roll their sleeves up and get the dirty work done and get results. That's where my main concern comes from. So yeah, bit of a rant. I'm not normally one for rants, but this result really kind of just dug something. It just annoyed me to another degree. So hopefully wholesale changes in the summer and we can just reset and go again next campaign, because this one's fizzling out.
What was that then? 90 minutes just passed me by without even realising because of how bad that was. Not one of them, bar Fabio, can walk out there and said, yeah, I put a shift in today. That's the thing that, does me head in the most, because you don't have to be especially good at football for me to support you. Like, I've watched enough Wolves players that are shit at football, but they actually gave it something. They cared about putting on the shirt and they gave it something. But today, a lot of them today just walked out there, happy to get beat on their holidays, walked out, they'll collect the wage packet at the end of the month and they're happy as anything. It doesn't sit well with me at all. And this has been the same for probably since the end of January. Really, we've got away with it with some good results where Watford let us ship 4 past them for it with ease. They gave us those goals. We didn't look that good against Watford, but it's just because of how bad they were. But the moment you come up against a decent team that won it more than you, you'll get beat. And we did. Brighton had nothing to play for today. We were the ones who had something to play for, and we didn't play for anything. They played us off the park. They beat us in 50-50s, challenges, duels, shot creating actions, everything. There wasn't one thing that we really came out on top with today. And that it's just not good enough. I've seen a lot of people calling for Bruno's head, saying it's Bruno's fault. How? Tactically, he's been off sometimes this season. But he's working with peanuts. He's got a worse squad than Nuno had last season. And the players that Nuno had last season in their prime, who looked like they were in their prime, this year, they could get carted off next season. Not one of us would care. What's Jimenez doing today? I don't know what he's doing to get on. How does he come on for Silva at half time? How does Hwang make it into the starting 11 every week without fail? I haven't seen a Wolves attacker with a worse touch in years. He's awful. The whole lot were awful today. Have some pride, have some fight, have some dignity. Go for it. You don't have to score many goals, because we don't. We don't expect to see loads of goals. We've prided ourselves on defensive solidity, being stubborn at the back this season, and we've just let Brighton score 3 against us. I'm sorry, Brighton. Are you mad? Mental? I can't quite get my head around it. There are certain, I've forgotten key moments of the game today because I've just watched a shower of shit for 90 minutes. I'm the most angry I've been today, purely because I've seen us lose enough this season for me to, get angry and, angrier and angrier. But I tell you what, oh God, they didn't show any pride in the shirt or in the badge. The things that 30,000 people in that stadium and the thousands, hundreds of thousands watching at home would do to pull on that shirt and play football for Wolves. The things that we do to do that, and we've had to sit there and endure watching that. It's shocking. It's shocking. Sarr could have done better on a couple of occasions, yes. Cody, average. Bolly, shite. Say, shite. Semedo shite until he came off. Johnny came on, did nothing. Aït-Nouri, shite. Moutinho, average. Neves, average until he came off. Fabio's good. Well, I like his work rate because he actually tries. Neto did all right. Hwang, dog shite. You know what I mean? Like, everyone was bad today. No one pulled anything off, but no one got higher but a 5 or a 6. And for a Premier League team that's fighting for Europe, you got to do more. That's why I'm angry today. I'm just absolutely livid with it. But that's it now for the end of the season. I've got nothing to be angry about because Europe's off. We can just sit and mill in 8th or 9th. I'll tell you what, we may not even finish 8th or 9th this season. If we keep dropping, we could come 10th, 11th. We could get overtaken easily. But big money needs to be spent. Big money needs to be spent, or else we're going to be in big trouble next season. That is not an exaggeration at all. Cheers for having me on, lads.
So, Wolves 0, Brighton 3. I'll be honest with you, I walked out about 5 minutes after the second goal, so I missed, I think it's Basuma who scored the third, but not that matters anyway. The start for the starting lineup. He went 3 in midfield, Neves, Moutinho and Dendoncker. With Hwang, don't know how he keeps getting a start, by the way, and Fabio Silva up top. Johnny dropped, which I thought was strange, but he was. Aït-Nouri left wing back. Semedo right wing back, and the same back three. Atmosphere was absolutely dead from the when the ball was kicked. Brighton were the better team, I thought, for the majority of the first half. I can only think of one chance we had, to be honest, and that was Moutinho's shot when it got cut back to him, and it took like a deflection and went out. And we were so bad. It was like the players didn't even care today. It was like none of them looked arsed at all. Like Brighton and mid-table, they should be on the beach. They shouldn't give a shit, but we made it easy for them, to be honest. But they dominated us. They get that first penalty for handball. I thought it was handball just because of the way the players reacted, and obviously it showed up on the screen when they did the VAR check. Hits the post. We think, right, this is it now. Let's put a rocket up our ass. Let's get going. Let's try and attack them. But what do? We go and give them another penalty, a clumsy tackle by Bolly. And this time they slotted away, although Sarr did nearly save it. But awful first half performance, absolutely awful. And then, to top it off, Bruno takes off Neves, which, to be fair for that one, understandable, he probably weren't 100%. And then he takes off Fabio Silva. It's like, is Hwang got naked pictures of Bruno or something? Because I don't get it. Like, who watched that first half and thought, yeah, bring Fabio off and bring Neves off? Surely Neves could give us another 20 or something. Oh, I don't know. But it didn't work, did it? Let's be honest. We was even worse second half. Again, no urgency. The formation change didn't work at all. Very easy for Brighton. Very flat. There was no atmosphere in the ground at all. Dead. Everyone could sense it around the ground that nothing was going to happen. We can't get the ball into the box. There's no surface for our strikers. And it's just the same old. What is that, 7 losses in 10 now? It's just all fell apart the last 10 games, I guess. It's all fell apart. We don't deserve to be anywhere near Europe. It's mad that we're still in 8th or 9th or whatever position we're in. I haven't looked at the table after that. It's absolutely crazy that we're still in this position, and it's just a shame the way the season's ended, and it's very worrying going into next season. We need a massive change, really, with players coming and going. We need a massive overhaul, and I hope they get it right, because if we start off next season playing like this, we're in trouble. The second goal, I think it was Trossard who scored, but it was so easy for him. Like, a couple of attempts at a tackle on him, but it was just easy, and then he slots it home, and it's just like half a Molineux empties. Sace at the back was shocking today as well. Even like, it was quiet, and even Cody was quiet. Usually you can hear Cody screaming orders. I thought he was a bit quiet. Just a really poor performance all round, but flat. Like, it's like the fans weren't arsed either towards the end. It's like, if you're not going to be arsed and perform for us, why should we stick around? Yes, there'll be people like, stay to the end, be a true fan, but when you're watching that and you can clearly see no one gives a shit, especially second half, you think, why are we even watching it? That season over. Even if by some miracle we go and win at Chelsea and get something against City, I think that's it. We've got nothing to play for now. I suppose, looking at it, I think I've said this before on one of these Fans React, you'd have took mid-table at the beginning of the season, but with the fact that we were on the verge of top 4 at one point on the turn of the year, the fact that we've just dwindled away like this, injuries hasn't helped, and I think that just proves that our small squad and the fact that Fosun and Jeff didn't back Bruno Lage, giving him a bigger squad, has come back to bite us on the ass, because we've suffered a few injuries to key players, with like Pedence and Neves, and obviously Kilman's now injured, and it's just, we just can't cope. Yeah, so there we go, just to wrap this up. Awful. Thank you, Talking Balls, for having me on, and see you all next season. No, I'm joking. Obviously, we'll watch the last few games. Oh, what a way this season's dwindled away. Anyway, yeah, cheers, Talking Balls, and bring back Adama. No, what am I on about? See you, everyone.
It's finished. Wolves 0, Brighton 3, and I apologise for the words that I will use in this video now. That performance is utterly embarrassing and disgusting. We were shit from minute 1 to minute 93. I haven't seen us play that bad in absolutely ages. 11 of them, even all 14 of them today, were embarrassing to watch. And I hope to God I don't have to watch some of those again for the rest of my lifetime. Sice, Bolly, Dendonka, fucking most of them are fucking useless footballers. We're a football team fighting for Europe, or supposedly. They're on the beach. They've been on the beach for the past 3 weeks. Embarrassing, the lot of them. Boos ring around Molineux. People walking out after the 3rd goal. Evacuation of Molineux. Embarrassing. And it's all right. It's all right because they work hard. It's all right because they've underachieved. Bollocks. You cannot turn up to Brighton at home, fucking Brighton, who have not scored more than fucking 2 goals in a game all fucking season, and get battered by them. I cannot pick any player today who, if I thought, you know what, he's had a good game, he's worked hard, he's put his fucking bollocks on the line for the boys. None of them. The manager again has took the wrong person off half time, Fabio, for fucking Raul, who's useless. He's kept Hwang on again for 90 minutes, who can't hold shit. Pedro Neto, who fucking throws his arms in the air when it's not going right for him. 2 useless midfielders in Dendonka and Moutinho. Moutinho's not useless, but he has been today. None of them good enough. None of them. And it's shit to see, because we as fans spend all our fucking hard-earned money putting our bollocks on the line for the team to support them every fucking week, home and away, and they can't fucking turn up for 90 fucking minutes. 90 minutes of work, that's all they're asked to do for the week. They do an hour's fucking training a day in the training ground, maybe an hour and a half if they've lost the week before, and they turn up on a Saturday to work for 90 minutes. And I've not seen any of them turn up today. Embarrassing performance. Gutless, spineless, and it deserved the boos. I've booed again. I never boo at football matches for the Wolves. Never. And Burnley and today have been the only times that I've booed, but they've deserved it. And once again, walking off the pitch as soon as the game's finished. Most, not most of us, a lot of us have stayed there till the end of the game. And I'm not saying that, we've booed them off the pitch, so I don't deserve them to go round to all 4 corners of the stadium applauding us off. But at least give a general one instead of fucking off straight away. I was talking to my brother about it. He said that he's never seen a team going for Europe who look like they've been relegated. And today, and Burnley, we have looked like the relegated teams. Not people who Brighton got nothing to play for. They're battering us. Brighton are battering us. They've got nothing to play for, and they're battering us. While we're trying to get Europe. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy and embarrassing to see. And it doesn't get any fucking easier, does it? With Chelsea, Man City, Liverpool still to play, Norwich, they'll probably come and turn us over because it's easy. It's easy to play against Wolverhampton Wanderers. You get the first goal, heads it down, and you get a couple more. It's easy. And some stupidity from the players as well. The first penalty's soft, granted. But the second one, you know, you miss a penalty, our heads are up and we're ready. And then you get some idiotic defending from the centre-back. And ultimately, you've lost the game at that point. Because we don't know how to win games. We might know how to score and then hold out for a win. But we don't know how to win a football match. I haven't come away since January and thought, Christ, lads, we played off a part there. I don't know if I've done that all season. Maybe Watford, where we've looked convincing. Things need to change, and they need to change quick, because this team will not get as far. How on earth we are 8th in the Premier League is beyond me, because we've been lucky. Been lucky all season, really. And if this continues next season, we will get relegated, because we are showing relegation form and we are putting in relegation performances. It's embarrassing, gutless and spineless. That's all I've got to fucking say about that performance. Change it, and change it now. Europe's over now. Forget about it. Even if there was a tiny glimmer of hope for it today, it's gone. Play players who want to fucking play, who want to fight for the badge. Play them. Go for it at the back. Play football. Not only 5 backwards bollocks side to side. And maybe, just maybe, we might be able to scrape a win against Norwich. Bollocks performance. Thanks once again to Wolves for ruining the weekend.
Evening, Wolves fans. Terrible today. Let's be honest, straight from the get-go, terrible. 3-0 to Brighton. Yeah. Bunch of cowards. Gutless performance. Positives, there's none, is there really? No positives today. Lost for words. I don't get what the game plans were from the get-go. The subs at half-time, he took off Fabio, and I thought he was probably the only one trying to run in behind and cause some damage. Not saying he was great, like don't say that I'm thinking if we kept him on we'd done better, but he was the only one actually trying to run in behind and cause some damage, and then we sort of took that off, and it's gone worse after that. Neto is nowhere near it at the moment, and I love Neto, but at the moment I can see why he's not starting. Raul didn't really do anything when he come on at all. I don't get why Hwang was kept on again. I'm not going to speak too much about Hwang because he's not one of my favourite players at the moment. Yeah, I mean, it's a coward's performance from everyone today. No one looked like they wanted it. No one. To give 2 penalties away in the first half is outrageous against any team. We got away with the first one when they miss, and then we give another one away. Yeah. For me, I don't know why Stacey's still starting. I know he's been good this year for the most part, but he's obviously not going to sign a new deal. Move on. Give Totti a game. Give Mascara a game. But sort of betting some of the players that are gonna be here next year. Yeah, lost for words on it, because Never's taken off at half time, and if he's not fit, he's not fit. But why'd you start him in the first place then if he's not fit? And if you are going to start him in a 2 and actually have a go at the game, rather than put him in a 3 and then go in a goal down and try and change it and it not work again. Yeah. not good enough. I sort of try and back all the players as much as I can, but who can you back today? No one. I don't know where we go from here at the moment. I feel like we're lost. I feel like we've got no identity. We don't know what football we're trying to play. What's our best formation? What are we actually doing at the moment? Yeah, we'll see how it goes, but hopefully things improve next game. I can't see it. Onwards and upwards, and let's just try and put in a good performance in the end of the year.